Hey everybody, how you guys doing? It's dark in here. Let me turn on some more light. All right. How's everybody doing? Welcome to the channel. This is Free Coaching Friday. So if you have any questions around government contracting or your contracting business as far as starting, growing, scaling your business, come pop your questions in here. I am here to serve you today. Get your questions answered so that hopefully we can get you moving, get you unstuck, and get you on your way to whatever your next goal is for you in your business. All right. So let's see. We're going to see if we get anyone to come pop on here and ask some questions. I know sometimes you guys are a little bit shy. You don't want to ask your questions, but this is free coaching. So definitely pop your questions in and let me serve you today and answer some of your questions. I also have some questions from Facebook as well as my messaging section here on YouTube. All right. So I'm just going to dive into the questions that have been sent in. If you want to pop in a question, definitely go ahead and do that. And I will answer your questions here live today. So for those of you that don't know who I am, maybe you just saw this and you decided to join. I'm Felicia Streeter over at FeliciaStreeter.com. And you guessed it, I help small business owners and contractors, construction companies, start, grow, scale your business, as well as branch off into government contracting. So as we're answering questions here, definitely if you have a question, go ahead, pop it over into the comments. I will be answering your questions. I'm here to serve you during this time today. And in between that, I will check. I have some over on Facebook that were sent for those that couldn't make it live, as well as on my YouTube messaging section. So I'm going to go ahead and start answering some of these questions. So the first question that we have here, let me read it. It is from, so I'm reading it on my phone, okay? So it is from Kimberly, and Kimberly asks, do you know where I can get free help besides the SBA? So yes, Kimberly, great question. Sometimes I know when you guys are just getting started, you don't have the resources, or maybe you think you don't have the resources, but really we have the money to do whatever we really want to do, right? We'll find a way. But yes, as far as free resources, you have your SBA, which is one of the resources that you can use. You also have your P-Tax, as well as SCORE, and then your small business development centers. Now, here's what I like to tell people about these free resources. They are great when they're great. And I mean that in the sense of I work with clients all over the US. Some find that their P-TAC is really good, as far as helping and serving them with free resources, and some not so much. So you have to check out your local resources and just see if that will be enough for you to get your business to where you want to go at the speed you want to get there. Okay. So, but definitely you can check out those free resources. Okay. Let's see. I am scrolling to the next one. Let's see. Okay. And then I have Katrina here. Is that Katrina? I think I'm pronouncing it right. Katrina asks, do you offer mentoring or guidance to people starting with zero capital? So hi, thanks for joining. If you have any questions that you'd like for me to answer for you, put them over in the comment section and I will answer your question. And tell me who you are, where you're joining from, and what do you offer. So that'll help me answer your question, okay? So Katrina says, do you offer mentoring or guidance to people starting with zero capital? And so I don't know what you mean by zero capital. So the services that I provide, when you go look at my website, as far as the programs, working with me one-on-one, or doing a VIP intensive with me, or one of my products, or Bootcamp, those are all an investment. Okay. So you have to invest to be a part of any one of those. So I'm talking about the Contractor's Edge program. I'm talking about Master the Bid Playbook, which is the VIP intensive. I'm talking about the Contractor's Edge Bootcamp, the sequencing formula. So I have various ways that you can get started at various investment price. So, and sequencing formula is $37. So it'll get you to the point of you'll know exactly what you need to do. And if that's enough, you can take that and run with it. Some people do. So it just depends on um, where you're at and what do you mean by with zero capital. Now, to get started in government contracting, you don't need a lot of money if that's what you're thinking. Um, um, I always tell people really the money you'll spend is like going out networking, things like that. So you may have to pay, for lunch or your gas to get there or parking, depending on where it's at. But the investment is not as great as, people think it is. Okay. And so for those of you that are here live, thank you for coming to join me. Definitely tell me who you are, where you're joining from. What are you offering? And tell me what your questions. Let me answer some questions for you. Okay. Scrolling. Let's see. Answering the next question. Okay, let's go over to the other one. Pop over here. Oop. Okay, so I'm sorry, I didn't get the name on this one, but they wanted to know how to win a federal government contract. So there are some things you have to do before you can win a federal contract. So one of the requirements is that you have to be registered and qualified to do work with the federal government. So you'll have to get registered in SAMS. That's the first thing you have to do. Now, if you're a small or minority owned business, the other thing you want to do is apply for any certifications for which you qualify. And the reason is because with the federal government, they have set asides where they set aside projects for the various classifications of the certifications. And so you want to be able to take advantage of that. And so those are the first two things I would do. And then the third thing I would say is marketing and business development. A lot of people stop short of that. They'll get registered, they'll get certified, and then they think that, I don't know what they think, but I guess like the opportunities are going to come knock on your door. And that rarely happens. You have to be proactive, which, I tell my clients this all the time. You have to be proactive, marketing and business development. Okay. All right, let's see. Joseph asked, if you can choose to do business with one, whether that's the city, county, state, or federal, which would it be and why? So Joseph, great question. So here's the thing. Why do I have to choose? First of all, right? A person likes to have choices. And in essence, you really don't have to choose. Okay. Now, if I was going to choose one, this is how I would determine which one I would choose. And in telling you this, you'll understand why. So I would choose the one that has the greatest opportunities for me in what I'm offering, right? And that would help me get to my goals. So in saying that, whether that's the city, county, state, or federal, if they're putting out the type of opportunities that I can perform on, right? And they're putting out more than the other ones, or they're putting them out at a level that I can play, meaning I have the capacity to do it, then that's the one I would choose. So it's not just a matter of just choosing one, just to choose one. I would be strategic in which one I choose. And it would definitely be based off of the opportunities that they have for me. And not just today, because you can't do them all today, but coming down the pipeline. So I would even look at their forecast to make that determination. So I hope that answers your question and help you in, if you're going to select one, help you in making that determination. Okay. Let's see. I don't know who asked this one. Some of them we didn't capture the names. I'm sorry. But this one says, do you have a specific number of proposals you submit per month, per year? Do you have a magic formula to determine whether or not you are meeting your company goals? So this is a two-part question. So here we go. Let's read it again, and I'm gonna tell you, I'll answer it one piece and then the other. So it says, do you have a specific number of proposals you submit per month, per year? Not necessarily. It just kind of depends on what opportunities are out there. Now, the other piece of that would be um, knowing my capacity to perform and how many projects I can handle, and looking at that would help me determine what to bid and how many to bid. And so it's kind of based off of the opportunity in itself as well. So there's a lot of factors to look at to say whether I'm going to bid something or not, but I don't have a set number at the beginning of every month to say, okay, I want to bid 5 projects this month. Okay. Or I want to bid 20 projects this year, because depending on my capacity, I can take one project if it's the right project and that's all I need for the year, or that's all I can handle for the year. So the real question should be, what is your capacity to perform? And also looking at your business preferences. And this is a process that I take my clients through. And then knowing that, you'll easily be able to answer those questions. All right. Hey, Joey, I'm going to get to your question next. You have any questions, definitely pop them in. Thank you for joining us. Tell us where you're joining from and what do you offer? And then whatever your questions are, put them in there for me. Okay. So the second part of this question is, do you have a magic formula to determine whether or not you are meeting your company goals? So there's not a magic formula per se, but I sit down towards the end of the year, I set my goals for the next year. And then I set quarterly goals. And then I even look at my goals on a monthly basis. So I break the quarterly down to monthly. So I always know what it's going to take to get to my goals. And I know how close I am to my goals at all times. So it's not necessarily a particular formula, but tracking your metrics of what's important to you and your business will always let you know how close you are to your goals. And then it just depends on what goals you're referring to as well. So if you have income goals, well, you have to track your income. If you want to say complete 5 projects this year, then, you know, every time you have a project, you can tick it off and track it that kind of way. So it just depends on what you want to track and what's important to you. Ideally, most people will, or they should, track their money. Money is very important. And I did a live earlier this week where I talked about Money Mondays. I can't remember which day, but go back and watch one of the videos. I can put it down later in the notes in the comment section or the description after I finish this. But I can't remember what the name is right now, but I know I did one and we talked about Money Mondays just this week. Okay. All right. Okay, so I'm going to hold those and we're going to come over here live to Joey. Thank you for joining us live. How are you from Seattle? And you sell products. Okay. And your question is, if a bid gets extended, how do I know what that means? So I'm going to say, and I don't have all the verbiage in front of me, only what you gave me. So we're going to kind of go off of that. Ideally, I'm thinking based off of what you put here when it says the bid has been extended. I'm guessing you mean the date to bid. So like if you had to submit your bids by today, May 10th, they've extended the bid date. And they may have done that because maybe they didn't get enough bids in to see if it's competitive or not. So in essence, maybe they only had one person submit and they want more to compare prices to make sure it's competitive, that kind of thing. So that's what I'm thinking. Again, it just depends on the full verbiage of what they said in the email or letter or however they told you that the bid has been extended. And definitely if they gave you a different timeline as to when the bid was extended to, is probably due to something like that. Or, you know, sometimes the contracting officer or the procurement specialist or whoever, maybe they're out, something happened, they're sick or something, and they need to extend the date. But I mean, ideally, they could extend the award date, you know, for that, if that was the case. not necessarily the bid date. So I don't know. I'm thinking they're extending it to get more bids in, just based off of what you put here. So I see some more you are here live. Definitely tell me who you are, where you're joining from, what you offer. And if you have any questions, definitely pop them over there in the comments. Oh, you're welcome, Joey. That's what you think too? Okay. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Definitely put your comments over there or your questions. Let me answer them for you. Okay, I'll pop back to some of the questions here, give you guys a chance to put your questions in there for me. Love to answer them for you. Let's see. Ooh. So this one is from Carlos. Carlos wants to know, do we have to charge taxes separately? And so Carlos didn't give me any details outside of do we have to charge taxes separately. So I don't know what he means by that. I'm going to just give you a couple scenarios and hopefully that answers it for you. So ideally, you're going to be charged taxes on materials. So of course, you would include that cost to your end user. Now, if your end user is tax exempt, then you need to get that paperwork so that when you go buy the materials, you're not taxed because it's for a project for someone that's tax exempt, that kind of thing, if that makes sense. Also, if in your state, depending on what you offer, a lot of times on products, you have to pay taxes, or something that's tangible, you have to pay taxes. And so you should definitely carry that cost over to your end user. Now, depending on what state you're in, the rules and regulations on taxes and what you pay tax on is different. So let me just forewarn you. Make sure you check with your state, and it may be your state comptroller's office or whatever that is, whoever does the entity structure setup where you register your company, check with them just to see what the process and the requirements are in that particular state. Okay, so if you have any questions, definitely pop them over into the comment. I would love to answer them for you. And I will answer another question. Okay, so Lynn asks, how do you find the prime contractor? Okay. So, so it's a general question. So I'm going to give you a couple scenarios on how you can find a prime contractor. Don't know what you want to do with them exactly, whether you're looking for opportunities or you're looking to partner with one, because that could be a little bit different on where you want to go, how you want to find them, what you want to say. In general, though, to find a prime contractor, you can go on fbo.gov for sure, right, and find the prime contractor, because you can look for previously awarded contracts. You can find prime contractors that way. You can go look at usaspending.gov, and it will tell you based on particular agencies who their top prime contractors are. You can find it that way. So there's a couple ways to go find prime contractors. The other thing is you can go to pre-bid meetings, walkthroughs. Trust me, they'll be there. Okay, so that's actually 3 ways you can go find prime contractors. All right, Fabienne Carrier. Hey, from Atlanta, Georgia. I do freight broker. Awesome. So do you have any questions? Thank you for joining us. All right, so I'll give you a second. If you have any questions, go ahead and pop them in. Okay, so this one, oh, they didn't put their name. This question says, I don't really understand how to search for bids on FBO. So tell me, are you guys on fbo.gov? Have you registered there? So I'm going to tell you how you can search for bids on FBO. So on FBO, it is really a great resource to look for opportunities. And I use it with my clients more for different things other than just looking for opportunities to bid currently, because once it's out there, it's kind of like it's out there for everybody. And so we like to be proactive and find out about opportunities before they hit the streets. But if you want to use FBO to find bid opportunities, I mean, basically you can go in there, you can do a keyword search, you can search by agency, You can search awarded contracts. You can search pre-solicitations or solicitations. So you can search a variety of ways. But the other thing is, if you're looking for bid opportunities for yourself, you can search via your NAICS codes or a keyword search based off of what you do. So there's a few ways you can search FBO and find opportunities. And you can also do a date range as well and just see what came up in the last few days. Okay, so Fabienne asks, how long does it take to get an answer after you bid? So on the federal side, for sure, and a lot of times most of your government agencies, they will tell you bids are due by this date, this time. And they will also tell you when they expect to award the contract, which means by the XYZ date, the date they, intend to award it, you should hear from them. Now, ideally, if you don't hear from them, you didn't win it. Some contracting officers are nice enough to just, send something brief just to let you know it's been awarded and you didn't win it, if that's the case. Other than that, it varies. If it's a small project, something simple, and you just had to submit a bid, you may get a response faster than if you had to submit a proposal. And like I think I was just looking at one the other day with a client, and the proposal that they wanted and the page limits that they were giving us, the proposal that you're submitting could be up to 100 pages per company that's submitting. So that means it's going to take them some time to go through it. So with that being in mind, I would say, Fabienne, if you go back and look at what you bid it, unless it's private sector, it could be different. But if it's government, you may be able to go back and look at the solicitation or whatever they sent out, whether it was a quote, request for quote, whatever, that they may say when you can expect to hear an answer. If it's private sector and it's been a minute, shoot, reach out and ask them. I submitted, you can say something as simple, hey, I submitted on XYZ bid back on such and such date. I just wanted to follow up and see if you guys had made a decision on who you're going to go with. And if not, when do you anticipate making that decision, so that you'll know when to follow up next. So that's exactly what I would do for sure. Any other questions? Okay. Okay. So, all right. All right. Great, great, great. Awesome. So tell us, what do you do, Fabienne? Let's see. I'm just looking through here. So here's another question. Does getting an 8A, so they're talking about the 8A certification, cost money to get, or is there a free source for this? So basically, this person wants to know, does it cost to get the 8A? So in essence, to apply for the 8A certification, there is no cost as of this video recording. In some states now, they're actually charging to do your MBE and your MWBE, your SB, and your DBE. So I have to say that now, that as of right now, it does not cost if you're going to do it yourself. Now, you may be asking this question because you've reached out to someone and they're telling you, yes, there's a fee associated with them helping you get your 8A, which rightly so, right? In essence, they have a business. Here's a service that they provide, and there's a fee for them to help you do it. And so it's kind of just like whatever you guys are offering, right? There's a fee you charge people to help them, whether you're providing a service or giving them a product. You don't do it for free. So understand that as you're reaching out for resources, unless you're going through one of the free agencies like your SBA, your PTAX, SCORE, or SBDC, then there may be a fee associated with getting help, resources, and things like that. And actually, even the SBA and these agencies that I just mentioned, with some of their stuff, there's a fee as well. So everything they don't do for free either. So you have to get out of the mindset of thinking you're going to start and grow your business and get someone to help you for free. Okay. What you try to get, you're going to attract. And so, if you want to make money in your business, you got to spend some money if you're asking people to help you. Don't expect them to do it for free. Okay. All right. You guys have any other questions? So here's another question. Do you have tutorials that takes you through SAM and Fed Biz Ops registration? Yes, I do. So that would be, if you just wanted to know the process and the steps, like the what, I have the sequencing formula, and that's over at FeliciaStreeter.com/sequencing. I'll put that in here. And that's a product, $37. It will tell you exactly what you need to do. It's giving you the steps in sequence, because a lot of people do them out of order and then they have to backtrack. They try to do something and they have to go back. Okay, so that's to help you with that. The other thing I have is I have my government contracting basics, just getting started with government contracting, and it goes over getting registered in SAMs, applying for certifications, how to do that. And I'm proud to say that a client a couple weeks ago did his certification. We did his, and in 2 weeks he received his certification. So I thought that was really, really cool, because most of the time we're looking at 30 to 90 days. So that was great. But the other thing means we submitted everything that we needed to. So we packaged it right the first time. Also in that course, excuse me, because it's a course, you also get marketing as well, because you can't stop with just getting qualified and certified. You need to do some marketing too, to start drumming up some business and getting some opportunities. So I also included that in that course. All right. Let's see. You guys have any other questions for me? I would love to answer your questions. Are you stuck? So tell me, what are you doing in your business? Where are you at? Is it you're all set up and you're just looking for opportunities?
In fact, 4 out of 5 customers who are on LinkedIn.
That is. My computer keeps doing that. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, so Ethan asks, is your experience in construction contracting only or more general procurement for the federal government? So here's the thing. If, first of all,
are decision makers at their company.
No, it's not just they made me lose my train of thought. Sorry about that. It's not just,
so if you can build those relationships, you can see some.
It's not just hold on. It's not just construction, okay? But here's the thing. If you can do construction bids and proposals, like complete ground up design build type projects, you can do anything, trust me. And so that's the nature of the business of what I did in construction with my company. We did complete design build projects. So I always tell people anything else is easy compared to that. So no, my experience is not just in construction. Gosh, I've helped, let's see, transportation, trucking and transportation, logistics, medical billing and supply, medical supplies. I'm trying to think. Janitorial. I'm thinking of people that I've helped in different industries. Professional training and development. Okay, those are the ones I can think of off the top of my head. But on my website, I do have a resource page, and there I show a lot more client testimonials. They're sharing their feedback, so you can definitely check that out, and you'll get a idea of what some of them do. I think one, he did something mechanical. I can't remember exactly what it is right now, but that's what he did. Okay. So I do have more questions over here, but we'll carry those over until next time. I don't want to hold you guys too long, but for those of you that are here live, thank you for joining me. And if you have any other questions, definitely go ahead and pop them in. If not, we'll go ahead and wrap up. I know it's Friday. You want to get out and, start the weekend. It's Mother's Day weekend and everything. And so, yes. Any other questions? So let me tell you while you are here, if you're stuck in the process of finding opportunities, being able to bid contracts or knowing how to bid them correctly, like they're being looked at seriously, and making sure that you're pricing to profit. We don't want to just break even, and we definitely don't want to finish a project at a loss. So we want to make sure you're pricing to profit, as well as submitting responsive proposals, because the government says that 80% of the proposals that they receive, they're not considered. And the reason why is because they're not responsive. So we don't want that to be you. If you have a current struggle in the bidding or proposal process area, pricing your bids, that kind of thing, definitely I want to invite you to come and have a intensive with me. Let me help you create a process and a system around bidding confidently, making sure you're including everything in your bid, making sure you're pricing your bids to profit, making sure if you're submitting proposals that you're submitting them and being responsive. So that also includes learning how to break down the solicitation in order to be responsive. And so we're covering those three things during this intensive. And so it is the Master the Bid Playbook VIP intensive. So if you need help in that area, definitely come checking me out. You can definitely I don't know why I'm tongue tied now. Secure a spot. I'll put the link here below for you, and you can definitely go check that out. And I would love to, help you in a more intimate setting like that. And okay, so I put that link there for you guys. And I see someone else popped on. If you have any questions, I'll definitely answer them for you. Go ahead and pop them in the comments. And I see Fabienne says, oh, you're in logistics, the logistics part of transportation. Okay, awesome. Good, good, good. Yeah. Okay, just making sure I answered all your questions. So I'm just scrolling here. Okay, cool. So yeah, if you need some help, definitely check out that Master Your Bid Playbook VIP intensive. That will be a game changer. Even if you're bidding and you're not winning, we need to take a look at that for sure. So definitely check that out. If that's something you want to partake of, you can sign up right there on the site, and everything is right there for you. Tell you the process, what'll happen next, and we just go to work, me and you, doing that intensive. Okay, so we have some more people join us. If you want to tell us who you are, where you're joining from, you have any questions, definitely love to answer those for you. If not, we're going to go ahead and end, and I'll give you a second to pop that in there. And again, Joey and Fabienne, thank you guys for joining me here live and asking your questions here live. I appreciate that as we're closing out the week. All right. Okay, we have more people. So yeah, if you want to pop in who you are, what you do, where you're coming from, where you're located, that kind of thing. If you have any questions, go ahead, pop them in there. Love to answer those for you. Let me just say, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that, because I'm doing these live several times a week. And then at least once a week, I'm opening it up for Q&A, just answering your questions. So definitely you don't want to miss out on that. So definitely make sure you subscribe. I'm excited. I think it's the weekend already. It's probably, it's time to go get my son here shortly. I got to play carpool mom. But if you want to make sure you're notified as new material come out, videos, and when I'm going live, one, subscribe to the channel, and two, hit the bell. The bell will notify you when I go live. All right, Kimberly, hey girl, I answered a few of your questions, so you're gonna have to go back and or a couple of your questions, but you're going to have to go back to the beginning and listen to it. All right. From Florida. Okay, so you submitted your SAM registration and you're waiting on that, and you sent them your notarized letter, right? You got your letter notarized, you put it on your company letterhead, and you sent that off to them. So just make sure you did that. If not, it's not too late. Oh, okay, so you didn't? Yes. Okay, yes, I sent all of that information. Okay, great. So yeah, it should take, I mean, ideally, they've been doing them fairly quickly, like maybe a couple weeks, if that, as long as everything is correct, like they've already matched it up with your EIN number and they did the DUNS number matchup, then, you should probably be good to go. It shouldn't take too much longer. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining me. If you don't have any questions, we're going to go ahead and end. I'm waiting on, yes. Once they make your SAM registration active, you'll get your cage code. So yeah, that's like the last step of the process with them. All right. So don't forget, if you need help with the bidding process, finding opportunities, or the proposal process, you want me to help you map out a system for doing that, help you create your proposal template, your bid template, and all that great, awesome stuff, definitely go over to FeliciaStreeter.com/VIP. Check out the the bid playbook, VIP intensive. And we can definitely get you going and get you out there bidding some contracts, being responsive. All right. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and end it. If you guys don't have any other questions, again, thank you for coming to join me live. Make sure you subscribe. If you have not done that, hit the bell so that you can get notified as I'm going live throughout the week. And then come back and join me next week with your questions. All right. So have an awesome rest of your week, and I'll see you back here real soon. All right. Bye. All right. Bye, Kimberly, Fabienne, Joey. Have a nice weekend. Bye.